I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day or night. Today I'm going to be teaching you how you can turn your subjects invisible in After Effects. I used it in my previous music video, and I think it's super versatile because not only can you make people invisible, but you could also make other objects or really anything you want invisible. You can do this completely free without any plugins or anything like that. So yeah, let's hop straight into it. So on screen right here, we kind of have an example of where I used it in a video. So here I just have the raw footage. First thing you're going to want to go ahead and do is duplicate your footage. Now on Mac, you can do this with Command D. On Windows, you'll do Control D. Now we're going to want to double click on this to open up the layer, and we're going to go up here to our rotobrush tool, and we're just going to go ahead and rotobrush our subject or whatever you want it to become invisible. So when rotoscoping, you just want to drag over your subject and it should start selecting. If it does mess up a little bit, you can hold down Option on Mac or Alt on Windows for it to go negative and get rid of that right there. And you really want to get your base frame good because this is going to be the base for the rest of the rotobrush and what the AI is going to use to kind of mask out your subject. So right here, I've got a pretty good first frame. I'm just going to frame forward all the way through the entire clip. And if it messes up slightly, I'm just going to go ahead and fix it. So once you guys have reached the end of your clip, you're going to want to go ahead to this freeze option and select that. Here it's just going to go through every clip and freeze the rotoscope in place. Now with that frozen, we're going to go out of the layer tab, back to our composition. And the next step, we're actually going to go to this rotoscoped layer and duplicate that. We're going to go ahead to this bottom rotoscope layer, double click on it, and we're actually going to unfreeze it. Now with it unfrozen, we're going to go ahead to the effect controls for this layer. And we're going to go ahead to the invert foreground / background and check that. And essentially what this is doing is selecting the entire background, pretty much anything but the subject. Now with the background selected, we're going to go ahead and freeze this as well. Once that's all done, we can close out of the layer. As you can see, we can have 3 layers here. The bottom layer is the original clip. The middle layer is just the background, and the top layer is just our subject. Now we want to go ahead and select this middle clip so it's just the background here. And this is where the invisibility kind of comes into play. We're going to go to the side here and go to the content aware fill. If you don't see content aware fill, you can always go to window and make sure that content aware fill is selected. Now I found that surface works the best here, and I just put this alpha expansion on 64. You can really mess around with the settings. What you want to do is actually set your work area to where you want him to turn invisible. So I'm just going to select the work area as that, and make sure your range is the work area. Then go ahead, click on generate fill layer. Now After Effects is going to go ahead and kind of fill in the blanks and make it match the background. So now as you can see, it's completely done filling in the background, and we've got this kind of like invisible person looking thing, and it looks really cool. I'm gonna go ahead and drag the fill layer underneath our top rotoscope layer, and I'm going to go ahead and turn on all of these layers again. The next step is just going to be having your subject fade out into becoming invisible, and this is super easy to do. All I have to go is go to our top rotoscope layer, and this is going to be our subject layer. We're just going to go down into transform, and here we have an opacity option. So at the very beginning of the invisibility, I'm going to go ahead and keyframe the opacity, and by default it will be 100. Then I'm going to go a little bit into the invisibility. I'm just going to go ahead and set the opacity as 0 as he fades out. Now highlighting both of these keyframes, I can go ahead and right click them, go to keyframe assistant, ease them, and this is just going to make the transition a little bit smoother. And now playing that back, you can see that our subject completely goes invisible, and it looks super cool. Now I kind of want this invisibility to transfer into the next clip that I have. In the next clip, it's kind of a flip-flopped clip where this artist is in front and he is in the back. So we're going to go ahead into Premiere Pro and show you how I would use this in an actual music video. So now in Premiere Pro, we have the 2 clips lined up, and even without a transition, it looks pretty clean. There's a couple things you could do here. For one, I could do a rotoscope of this subject right here and have him slide up from the bottom. I think that would look pretty cool. But that would take a little bit of time. A really easy way to do this is using a preset. We're going to go ahead down here into our project, get a new adjustment layer, go ahead and drag that adjustment layer onto our composition. Now I'm going to position this adjustment layer in between our 2 clips. I'm going to go 4 frames back, drag that out, and 4 frames forward for a total of 8 frames. I'm just going to drag on a shake flash transition from the Meech music video essentials, which is coming out soon, by the way. I'm going to go ahead and drag the vertical shake flash on there, and as you can see, that transition just makes this clip come alive, and yeah, looks super clean. He fades out and then they kind of flip-flop. But yeah, that's pretty much it for this tutorial, guys. I hope you did enjoy. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe and hit the like button. If you want to learn how to make instant 3D objects in your music videos, check out this video right here. Other than that, go ahead and join the Discord. I'll link it down in the description, and I'll see you guys in the next one later.